I'm rushing to a future and not making the most of what is now. The only real thing that I truly have. Talking and sharing with those people who are important today. It's so easy to get caught up in false concepts of time, of the future, and of the past. I heard at least one person this spring say, "I wish I had taken one of Milt's classes this year." And my purpose in mentioning this is because I want to talk about guarantees and time and choices and life and responsibility. And although dissertations could probably be written on any one of these subjects individually, I see them connected in a very special way. And I call that MT and you. Although you can all hear my words, they're meant expressly for those who are leaving, whom I may never have another opportunity to speak with, and those who are commonly called by my generation the hope of the future. But it's not my future. It's your future. For 10 or 11 years, you've been schooled in the values of the past. And for even longer, you've been nurtured based on another's experiences. How far you go now is your choice. If you tenaciously cling to your past experiences, try to emulate, preserve, or repeat another's experiences, you may not go as far as your dreams of the future indicate that you can go. What you dream of today can be your reality, provided you are willing to explore what is perhaps now unfamiliar to you. Be open to new experiences. In order to do this, it may be necessary to discard some long-held and popular concepts. For instance, the concept of time. Hours, days, weeks, months, and years were created by man to facilitate his life within his society. In trying to control his life, he has lost part of that life. Perhaps the most important part, the now. People sit and cry and remember the good old days. We did it yesterday. I did too. Or they plan for what they'll do in the future when they retire. And all the while they're wasting the only time they really have, today. You've all been to the family gatherings where the women talk about their children. You. And how cute you were as babies. Well, I'll let you in on one of the best kept secrets. When you were babies and we talked about the fun, that was when we talked about the fun we had when we were single. The other side is waiting for retirement, when life is supposed to be easier. My mother called it the life of leisure. Only when that day comes, the poor devil who's waited till then to enjoy his life may die before he gets to start his retirement. Today is the only day you have. So live. Experience all there is, for none of us is guaranteed a tomorrow. This brings me to the next erroneous concept we have, that of guarantees. You've heard about guarantees? Like tomorrow, there are no guarantees. In semantics, we learned about how we allow the symbol to replace the object. Remember that? Well, this is one of those words. We see the word guarantee and we feel safe and secure and protected because this item we've gotten is guaranteed. Wrong. The word is a media word, and it's used to induce you to invest in something, to buy something. You could be buying a piece of America with a savings bond, a new watch, assurance that a school bus you may need will be there when you need it, or if you're the bus owner, that the money you have already budgeted for next year is there. Or when you retire, there'll be a pension and Social Security to live on, and that it'll be enough to live on. All are hypes to induce you to feel safe as you spend your money. This is fine, as long as you understand that there's no real assurance that the watch company won't go out of business before the year's guarantee is up, or that inflation won't eat away the money you've collected in the Social Security, from the Social Security taxes that you've already paid, or that the company you work for won't go bankrupt before you retire, or the officials watching your pension funds aren't desperate for money and borrow yours, or that you won't end up paying for buses you won't need, or that the government you invest in, or I invested in 1942, is the same one you have in 1980, with the same interest rates and the same economic levels. So much for time and guarantees. But what about life, responsibility, choices, and MT? The student who said, "I wish I had taken one of Milt's classes," has learned about choices and responsibility. The reason for not choosing one of the classes is not important, but the lesson is. We all make choices all the time. When we use an expression like, "I can't," we limit those expressions, those experiences, which may help us to grow. We put limits on ourselves. When the person says, "I choose not to take this class," then that person begins to look at how they limit their experience and how they limit their lives. At MT, you've all had an opportunity to experience learning in new ways. Each of you has set your own limits on how much you can learn or experience. For some, the limits narrowed your experiences. For others, the limits were barely visible. Today is a good time to decide if you want to adjust those limits of your experience and what direction you want to move toward. Today is your life. There are no guarantees. The choices are yours and yours alone. Your responsibility is to yourself to live the best way possible for you. But to be able to change and to move in new directions as your learning increases and provides you with new insights. Be ready to trust yourself and to question everything which you do not understand. For the only truly ignorant people are those who have stopped questioning. The best of luck and all my love to all of you.
I'd like to introduce Lee Morrow.
I'd like to present this plaque for a token of our appreciation for Milt Seiler and all he has done for us. It reads, "A tribute to Milt K. Seiler, Jr., co-founder of the Maslow-Toffler School of Futures to Education. His contributions, dedication, and his belief in each individual's right to search for self-actualization and educate of his life exemplifies his ideals of the Maslow-Toffler Stanford students." All right.
Don't get comfortable, Milt. It's your turn to speak.
Graduating students, present students, parents, guests of honor, friends, facilitators, distinguished members of the Board of Education. Realizing this will be the last time I will have an opportunity to share with you from this podium some of my innermost feelings about education, I have become paralyzed. 1,000 pictures flash through my mind, and I cannot seem to extract those words that will convey to you the essence of a school that has made education its prime objective. You, everyone here today, has helped to keep burning the torch that casts a positive light on mankind in the midst of a world in which terrorists play death games with hostages. Currencies fluctuate with catastrophic results. Embassies ignite in flames of destruction, and stormtroopers lace up their boots throughout the world. Our newspapers sell by the horror of their headlines. Mankind has begun to see all things as evil, and when a light of truth casts itself upon the eyes of our civilization, it blinds the observer. As I look around the nation, I cringe at the inability of our people to see its own self-destruction. What good is an education that has become so meaningless that the second cause of death among teenagers is suicide? This is knowledge which leads man to a dead end. What good is an educational system that manages to reject and to cast out into the streets the students with the highest IQs? We have retained those who conform, but lost those who are creative, intelligent, and could use their talents to better mankind. Instead, they become criminals against the society we so desire to preserve and to maintain. In the last 6 years, we have created a model school that has begun to influence and change the direction of education throughout the country. During this time, we have proven that students want to learn, can learn, will learn, and contribute to society. We are a school in which students increase their reading comprehension approximately 1.5 years per year, while most of the nation's reading scores begin to plunge to the depths. We are a school that has attracted the intellects of the nation to observe our structure based on the most recent scientific research, and has succeeded in educating our young men and women. We have been visited by Maslow-Toffler, author of Future Shock and now the bestseller The Third Wave, George Lachlan, author of Grow and Die, Dr. Jerry Edwards, author of Reaching Out, Ron Gross, author of Lifelong Learner, and with us today, of course, Dr. Mary Ann Raywood, author of The Axe Grinder and numerous educational dissertations. New York State Education Department has used the Maslow-Toffler School as a model school for developing a film on mental health. Our success has been in the product, not in the words. We have had students while in high school on the off-Broadway stage, students showing the doctors at the Einstein Medical School how to improve Kirlian photography. We now have graduates who have reached the top in their own areas of interest. A Paris model, who's the recent 20-page spread in Vogue, a student being accepted at the Sorbonne in Paris, standing in the back. Students who have had outstanding military careers, as a result, have been presented to the President of the United States and received